We were just talking in the break about Bill Nye the Science Guy, who play the whole clip here.
All right.
This is Bill Nye the Science Guy and Bill Maher.
Science and faith. No, we can't.
Well, the whole thing is, in science, it's when you have claims. That's the big deal. So if you claim the Earth is 10,000 years old, that's just wrong. I mean, rubidium becomes strontium, and it has this extraordinary half-life, and that's how we determine these things. And the same way, as I said at that thing in Waco, I said, it looks to me like whoever wrote this didn't really have it right. And bear in mind, everybody, this has been translated, I don't know how many times from Sanskrit. Maybe the guy was pretty savvy, actually.
And he's talking here again about the verse, and God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day and the lesser light to rule the night. So he's saying that the moon isn't a light at all.
It is
but it does
a
reflect
light. It's
light.
a reflection of
It's
light.
light to us.
Right. It's a light. When you look up to it at night, it is
gives
a
light.
light. It gives light. It's not its own light. I mean, how simple-minded do you have to be?
I know. It's pathetic.
Look at what they're
it's a pathetic
focusing
argument.
on, though. If this is their argument, where they're saying, oh, yeah, well, the moon isn't its own light, it's reflective light, and even though that's not at all specified in the Bible, we believe that's what they meant, so therefore Christians are idiots. If that's your argument, you're a moron. You're just a moron.
Yeah.
You have
Total
nothing.
moron.
You have
Total
nothing.
moron.
And this 5,000-year thing, I guess there's people that believe it's 5 or 7. I'm not one of them. I don't believe that.
I'm not one of them either. I know we do get mail from people, and we have a lot of listeners who, apparently believe that the world is 5,000 years. I don't think it is. I don't care.
I don't care.
I really don't care.
Whether you
It
believe
doesn't
it or
matter.
not, who cares?
Cares.
It's a completely unimportant part of the belief system.
It is.
And it's like when you focus on things like that, it shows you have nothing. It shows you have zero in your weaponry. Because if that's the way you're going to attack Christianity, oh, well, their dates are different than ours. Who would care about that? That's not the point of the Bible.
Here's the real argument on why religion and science must coexist. Because if man rules himself, then man can do anything and can make it up as he goes along. And there are no ethics anymore. And if you are an atheist and you say, well, that's ridiculous, find out, because I've done the search, find out how many people are doing ethics. Find the leader, the scientific leader at Google on the ethics of artificial life. Find anybody who is doing anything on the ethics of artificial reproduction, far as the reproduction of organs and the ethics of where our technology is going. I have asked industry leader after industry leader after industry leader, scientists, who's the main force inside the scientific community saying, wait a minute, just because we can doesn't mean we should. Here are the ramifications. And they all look at me afraid. Well, really, nobody's doing that. The people, and believe me, we get mail from people at Google. We get mail from people at Microsoft. We have people who get in touch with us all the time that are scientists who are working on these things and say, I'm little concerned because there is no ethical guidance at all. It's just man saying, well, we can do it. Let's do it. Well, that's why religion is important with science. Now, there is a balance on everything. It's like, are labor unions bad? No, labor unions aren't bad. Labor unions go bad. Are companies bad? No. Companies can go bad. But it's the balance. If you have somebody who is a religious zealot who says, we are not looking into anything scientific, well, then that's a crazy person in religion. If you have somebody who's in religion and says, yes, God created man, God created the intellect, God created all of the things on earth, and we're supposed to be good stewards of it, and we're supposed to use our brains and our talents and our resources. God created the conditions for us to create medicine. So we're supposed to do these things. It's good for us to explore these things. However, are there limits? Of course there are limits. There are limits to everything. Well, vitamins are good for you. Well, you don't live on vitamins alone, do you? Well, they're good for you. Yes, but you don't just take all vitamins all the time. There's a balance to everything. And that's where science and religion coexist in a world where there's balance. But once one of them gets out of balance, it's bad. Once religion starts taking over science, it would be bad. Once science starts taking over religion, it's bad. When are we going to understand? You know, this is the thing about progressives. They think that they are so different than, well, we'll never lock up Galileo in the tower. No, you'll just lock up all the people who believe in religion in the tower. What makes you different? Nothing. It's just that your side is winning. The real enlightened position is balance. We don't lock anybody in the tower. We have a balanced approach to things. But that's too much common sense for today's world. Back in just a